In this video, we'll be learning about the interior angles of triangles. Before we begin, make sure you either have this page printed out or you have the digital notes pulled up. So what we know about the interior angles of triangles is first, a triangle consists of three sides, which means they have three interior angles. Remember, interior is just a way to say inside of the shape. Okay, so what we know about that is that the sum, which remember means adding, of the three interior angles of any triangle will always equal 180 degrees. In other words, take any size, shape, triangle. If you add together the three angles on the inside, they will always equal 180 degrees. So we can use that information to find any missing angle from a triangle. So let's look at the first two examples. It says find the missing angle in the triangle below. I have two of them. One's 48 degrees and one's 84 degrees. I'm looking for what that third one has to be. So I know that together, all three of these have to equal 180 degrees. So I'll show you two different ways to approach this. A lot of people like to add together the two given angles first. So the two that you have a total of 132 degrees. So if you subtract 132 from both sides, you'll get what that remaining third angle has to be. So C here would also be 48 degrees. Okay. The other way to do it is just to kind of take it in pieces. So this second example, I have 37 degrees, 24 degrees, and then that angle Z that I'm looking for. I can actually just grab my calculator and subtract them each from the 180 instead of having to add them together first. So what I like to do is just take my calculator and do 180 minus 24 minus 37 kind of all at once. So that would tell me that Z here would have to be 119 degrees. So either way is fine. They'll always get you the correct answer. It's just kind of a personal preference for you. In these final two examples, we'll look at using what we know about the interior angles of a triangle to solve for missing values. So if I look at this first example, it says that angle A would be equal to 5x plus 5. Angle B is a right angle, and angle C is 3x plus 5. Well, what I know about a triangle is that those three would add together to get me 180 degrees. So in an equation, what that would look like is taking each angle, so 5x plus 5 for A, 90 for B, and 3x plus 5 for C, adding them together and setting them equal to 180. Now, that looks really messy, so what I can do is combine like terms to simplify. So I have a 5x and a 3x, which would combine to 8x. I have 5 plus 90 plus 5, which would combine to 100. So either of those are great equations. They're the same, just one simplified. So from there, now that I've combined everything together, I have it equal to 180. I can solve for x. So subtract 100 from each side, and then divide by 8 to get me a final answer of x would have to be 10 degrees. So what that's saying is if I plug in 10 for x and then I add up each angle, they'll equal 180 degrees. A follow-up question could be actually asking what each angle is. So I already know that angle B is 90 degrees. To find out what A and C would be, I'm going to use 10 degrees for x. So for A, which is normally 5 times x plus 5, I'm going to plug in 10 for x. So 5 times 10 would be 50, plus 5 would tell me that that angle is 55 degrees. Angle C would work the same, 3 times 10 plus 5, and that would be 35 degrees. And I could check to make sure that those actually add up to equal 180. So 55 plus 90 plus 35 is in fact 180, so we're good to go. If you'd like, you can pause this video right now to see if you can figure out the second one on your own. If not, I'm just going to keep working through it. I'm going to start the same way by adding each of those together and setting them equal to 180. So 13x minus 3 plus 6x plus 1 plus 68 is all equal to 180. When I combine like terms here, I have 13x plus 6x, which would be 19x. When I combine my constants, I have to be on the lookout for that minus sign in front of the 3. So negative 3 plus 1 plus 68 would combine to 66. And that's still all equal to 180. So to solve, I would do 180 minus 66 first. So 19x is equal to 114. And my final step would be to divide by 19. And I get that x would be 6 degrees. Just like last time, I can use x equals 6 to evaluate what each angle would be. It already tells me that f is 68, so I'm going to go ahead and write that in. For angle D, D is 13x minus 3, so I would be doing 13 times 6 minus 3. Let's see what that gets me. 75. For E, I would be doing 6 times 6 plus 1, which should be 37. And then I'm going to go ahead and double check that those actually add together to equal 180, just as a way to check. And they do. So next you'll be practicing all of this information. The main idea is that inside angles of a triangle together equal 180 degrees. Good luck.